Hello, this is a video on how to play the card game Genius. Genius is a type of solitaire card game, and what you will need is not a singular 52 card deck, but you will actually need two 52 card decks. And so essentially, the player is dealt 19 piles of 3 cards. And so if you count here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, we have 19 piles of 3 cards in each one. The player's objective is to build 4 foundations up from ace to king. That is these 4 foundations here. The player then builds the other 4 foundations down from king to ace. So this is going from ace, 2, 3, 4, all the way up to king. This foundation would be going king, queen, jack, 10, all the way down to ace. Now, each time the player removes all the cards from a pile, such as a pile here, the player replaces them with 3 cards from the stock pile. Because do note that you will have a lot of leftover cards here, and so once you get rid of all of the cards in a pile, you flip up 3 cards from the stockpile and replace a empty pile with them. So Genius is played with 2 decks of cards, and you will have 8 foundation piles. The player must pull 1 ace out of each suit and 1 king of each suit out of the deck, and use them to start the 8 foundation piles. The aces must be built up from ace to king by suit, and the kings must be built down from king to ace by suit. The player is then dealt 19 piles of 3 cards. And so now we are getting into the game. The player may move the top card in each of these piles and use it to build on the foundations, or move this 2 of clubs onto the ace of clubs to build onto the foundations, or the player can build down another pile by suit. And so if you want to move cards between piles, the card you are moving must be 1 rank lower and of the same suit than the pile you are placing it on. And once again, you simply build the foundations like you normally would. But moving cards between piles, the card must be 1 rank lower and of the same suit. To demonstrate, let's see here. We have this 4 of spades. It is 1 rank lower than this 5 of spades, and it is the same suit, so we can place it by moving cards between the piles like so. I will actually go ahead and go through with that move, simply because it allows me to place more cards. Notice how when the pile ran out of cards, 3 more cards were automatically dealt from the stock deck. And so what you can do is, when you run out of cards, we'll talk about this later, if you get stuck and you cannot make any moves, you can shuffle. This shuffles the cards out here and replaces them down into 19 piles of 3 cards each, like it was in the beginning. And so let us keep playing here. I will do my best to try to make some moves here. And so bear with me here as I try working through this complicated game. And so as you can see, this is quite a hard game, but I do want to give a somewhat of a demo here. That way, you will be able to truly see how to play. And so as you can see, it is quite simple to play in terms of understanding the rules, but the actual game itself is quite hard, and so I could continue it here, but it would get quite repetitive. One more thing I would like to talk about is that if you run out of cards, like normally when you empty one of these piles, you'd automatically deal 3 cards from your stockpile to replace them. Once your stockpile is empty, you can then replace any empty pile out of the 19 with a card from the top of any other pile. So you can essentially begin a new pile by taking a card from another pile. So that wraps up how to play Genius. Remember, you build 4 suits from ace to king, the other 4 foundations from king down to ace. You can move cards between the 19 piles, provided that they are 1 rank lower and of the same suit than the card it is being placed on. You have 19 piles of 3 cards. Once one of these piles becomes empty, you then take 3 cards from the stock deck and replenish it. Once you run out of cards in the stock deck, you can replenish an empty pile by taking a card from any of these piles and placing it on that empty pile. So that essentially wraps up how to play Genius. I hope you enjoyed. It's easy to learn in terms of rules, but in terms of actually winning the game, it's one of the hardest solitaire games out there to win. And so I hope you enjoyed, and thank you for watching.